You walk into the office and the tension is thick. One wrong move, one misunderstood sentence. And boom, your boss explodes. You're not alone. Millions of people deal with toxic bosses daily. But here's the real question. How do you survive, thrive, and keep your job without losing your sanity? This isn't about fighting back. This isn't about complaining. This is about playing the game strategically, staying professional while protecting yourself. Because in the corporate world, the smart ones win, the emotional ones don't. Today, I'm giving you 14 powerful ways to work with a toxic boss without getting fired. Let's start with the first one. Number 1, stay emotionally neutral. Imagine this, you're in a meeting. Your boss is frustrated, the room is silent. Then suddenly, they call you out. Why isn't this done yet? Are you even paying attention? All eyes are on you, your heart races, you feel the anger rising. But instead of snapping back, you take a deep breath. You don't defend, you don't react emotionally. You simply reply in a calm, steady voice. I understand your concern. I've already taken steps to fix it, and I'll provide an update by the end of the day. No emotion, no drama, just pure professionalism. Toxic bosses feed on reactions. They provoke to see how you respond. If you react with frustration or fear, they win. But when you stay neutral, unshaken, they get nothing. Whenever your boss lashes out, pause, breathe, respond logically, not emotionally. Because the moment you let them control your emotions, you lose control of the situation. And trust me, the ability to stay neutral is your strongest shield in a toxic work environment. Number 2, document everything. You think your boss will remember what they asked you to do last week? Think again. One day, they praise you. The next day, they blame you for something they forgot they assigned. Here's what happens. Your boss walks up and says, I told you to send that report by Friday. But you know they told you Monday. So what do? Do you argue? No. Do you panic? No. Instead, you pull up the email? The timestamp is clear. As per your email from last Monday, here's the document. Let me know if you need any changes. Game over. You didn't fight. You didn't accuse. You simply presented facts. Toxic bosses rewrite history to shift blame. Your only protection, documentation. Keep every email, take meeting notes, save texts. If a request is made verbally, follow up with a written confirmation, just confirming our discussion today. You asked me to complete X by Friday. Let me know if any changes. Because in the end, facts always win. Number 3, know their triggers. Ever noticed how your boss snaps at specific things? Maybe they hate last-minute surprises. Maybe they get frustrated with long explanations. Maybe they go silent when they're about to explode. Every toxic boss has triggers. And if you can identify them, you can navigate around them. Picture this. You're in the office. Your boss storms in. You sense the tension. If you push the wrong button, you'll set them off. But you know their pattern. You know what words to avoid, what tones they hate, what situations make them furious. Instead of walking into the storm blindly, you adjust. You keep your updates short. You avoid bringing bad news without a solution. You don't challenge them when they're already in a bad mood. This isn't about fear, it's about strategy. If you know what triggers them, you can control the interaction, keeping things professional and smooth. Start observing. What words make them tense up? What emails make them aggressive? What situations make them explode? Once you crack the code, you gain control. Because when you learn to manage your boss's reactions, you stop becoming their emotional punching bag. Number 4, deliver results quietly. Toxic bosses don't just hate failure, they also hate feeling overshadowed. Let's say you just pulled off an incredible project. You made the company money, you solved a major problem. But instead of celebrating publicly, you keep it low-key. You let your work speak for itself, not your words. Because the moment you start seeking praise in front of a toxic boss, one of two things happens. 1, they feel threatened and downplay your success. 2. They take credit for your hard work. But if you deliver results quietly, without bragging, without making a scene, you stay under their radar while still being indispensable. Your goal isn't to win their approval, it's to make yourself valuable without becoming a target. Work hard, stay consistent, but never outshine them in a way that makes them feel insecure. Because in the end, power in a toxic workplace doesn't come from recognition, it comes from being untouchable. Number 5. Mirror their tone and style. Ever talked to someone and felt like they just get you? It's because they mirror your tone, your energy, your way of speaking. Toxic bosses respond better to people who match their communication style. If your boss is direct and blunt, don't waste time with long explanations, keep it short. If they prefer details and data, don't give vague answers, give specifics. If they like quick updates, don't schedule long meetings, send a summary. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about adapting how you communicate so they don't see you as difficult or frustrating. It's a simple trick, but it works. When they feel like you speak their language, they argue less, micromanage less, and trust you more, even if they don't realize why. Because in a toxic work environment, survival isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Number 6. Build allies. A toxic boss might hold power, but they don't control everyone. You need allies, people in your workplace who have your back, who can vouch for you, who can give you a warning when things are about to go south. Think about it, if your boss decides to throw you under the bus, but the entire team knows you're the one holding things together, their words carry less weight. Start connecting with colleagues. Help them out when they need it, be a team player. Because when you have support, you're no longer alone in the battlefield. Even better, some of these allies may be above your boss. And when push comes to shove, having the right people on your side can be the difference between survival and being pushed out. Number 7. Manage up with influence. Most people think leadership only flows downward. But the real power, it flows upward too. You can't control your toxic boss, but you can influence them. Instead of resisting them head-on, learn to guide their decisions, offer helpful insights at the right time. Frame your suggestions in a way that benefits them. Make them think your ideas are theirs. For example, if they constantly reject your proposals, instead of saying, "We should do X, try, I've seen companies do X, and they had great success," might be something to consider. Now, you're not challenging them, you're planting ideas. And when they think they came up with the solution, they'll run with it without resistance. When you master this skill, you turn a toxic boss from an obstacle into a tool for your own career growth. Number 8. Offer solutions. Nothing makes a toxic boss more defensive than complaints. If you walk into their office saying, "This isn't working," they'll hear it as an attack. They'll see you as a problem, not a problem solver. But if you go in with, "I noticed this issue, and I have a couple of ideas to fix it," now you're not a critic, you're an asset. Think about it. Who do bosses respect more? Someone who brings endless complaints, or someone who finds ways to make their life easier? Your toxic boss may never thank you. They may never acknowledge your effort. But they will treat you differently if they see you as someone who helps, rather than someone who challenges them. This is about self-preservation. It's about positioning yourself as someone they don't want to lose, even if they're too toxic to admit it. Because in a workplace where people are constantly attacked, being seen as useful and non-threatening can be your best defense. Number 9. Set boundaries. A toxic boss will push until they know where your limits are. If you let them overload you with work, they will. If you allow them to call you at midnight, they will. If you accept disrespect, they will never stop. Boundaries aren't just about saying no. They're about training people on how to treat you. Here's how you do it. If they overload you, say, "I can take this on, but it'll delay my other priorities. Which should I focus on?" Now, the burden of choice is on them. If they demand your time after hours, say, "I'll be back on this first thing in the morning." You're not refusing, you're controlling the timeline. If they disrespect you, stay calm but firm. I'm here to work, not to be spoken to that way. Say it once and mean it. The truth is, a toxic boss only stops when they see you won't tolerate it. And when you master setting boundaries without making it a fight, you make them rethink before stepping over the line. Number 10, plan your exit strategy. Let's be real, sometimes the best way to win against a toxic boss is to leave on your own terms. No one should spend years surviving a workplace that drains them. No job is worth your mental health, peace, or self-respect. So here's what you do: start networking quietly. Connect with people in your industry. Build new skills that make you valuable in the job market. Keep an updated resume and savings in case you need to leave fast. And most importantly, leave before they push you out. A toxic boss won't hesitate to throw you under the bus when it suits them. If you're already thinking about leaving, start taking action now before you're forced into a position where you have no choice. Because real power isn't just about surviving a toxic environment. It's about knowing when to walk away and build something better. Number 11, control your reactions. Toxic bosses thrive on reaction. They love to provoke, they love to create chaos, and they love seeing people scramble under pressure. But the moment you stop reacting emotionally, you take away their control over you. They yell, you stay calm. They push you, you stand firm. They expect you to break, you don't even flinch. Think of it like a poker game. The more predictable you are, the easier you are to manipulate. But if you keep your emotions in check, they have no idea what you're thinking. This frustrates them, it makes them rethink their approach. And slowly, they stop seeing you as someone they can easily control. So the next time your toxic boss tries to get under your skin, pause, breathe, and respond with calm professionalism. Because in a battle of power, the person who stays composed always wins. Number 12, understand their insecurities. Behind every toxic boss, there's an insecurity driving their behavior. Maybe they fear being exposed as incompetent. Maybe they're worrying about losing control. Maybe they resent younger employees rising up. Once you understand their insecurity, you can work around it. If they're paranoid about losing power, make them feel in control while still steering the situation. If they hate being challenged, present your ideas in a way that makes them look smart for approving them. If they need constant validation, give just enough praise to keep them calm, but never so much that you become a doormat. This isn't about manipulating them, it's about protecting yourself in an environment where they hold the power. Because when you know what drives a toxic boss, you stop taking their behavior personally and start handling them like a strategic game. Number 13, don't expect fairness. If you're waiting for a toxic boss to suddenly change, stop. If you're waiting for them to acknowledge your hard work, stop. Toxic workplaces aren't built on fairness, they're built on power games. And the sooner you stop expecting them to be rational or fair, the easier it becomes to navigate their behavior. Here's the hard truth. You might get blamed for things you didn't do. You might get overlooked despite your effort. You might watch less capable people get rewarded. But instead of wasting energy waiting for fairness, focus on playing the game strategically. Keep records of your work, build your skills, keep options open. And never let their unfairness make you doubt your worth. Because the people who win in toxic workplaces aren't the ones expecting justice, they're the ones making moves behind the scenes. Number 14, take back your power. A toxic boss wants one thing: to control how you feel about yourself. They want you insecure, they want you second-guessing. They want you believing that you need them more than they need you. But here's the truth, they have no power unless you give it to them. You have skills, you have value, and most importantly, you have options. The moment you stop seeking their approval, the moment you stop letting them define your worth, you take your power back. Because at the end of the day, no toxic boss can break you unless you let them. Toxic bosses exist in every industry, but the real challenge isn't them, it's how you handle them. You can fight them and burn out. You can complain and stay stuck. Or you can play the game smart, protect your peace, and take back control of your career. Because in the end, surviving a toxic workplace isn't about them, it's about how you choose to handle it. And that's the real power. At the end of the day, a toxic boss is just one chapter in your story, not the whole book. You don't have to be their victim, you don't have to suffer in silence. And you definitely don't have to let them define your career. The most successful people in the world, they've all dealt with bad bosses. But they didn't let them break them. Instead, they played smart. They kept their emotions in check. They focused on results. They built their skills, and when the time was right, they moved on to something better, and that's exactly what you need to do. Don't let a toxic boss kill your ambition. Don't let them make you doubt your worth. Don't let them trap you in a workplace that drains your energy. You have power more than you realize. You have options more than you think. So stand strong, stay smart. Take control, and when the moment comes, walk away with your head high, knowing that you were never the weak one in this situation. They were. You're better than them. You're bigger than this, and your future? It's yours to build. Now go out there and own your career. If this video helped you navigate a toxic workplace, don't stop here. Hit that like button to show your support, and subscribe for more powerful insights on career growth, leadership, and success. Drop a comment below. Have you ever dealt with a toxic boss? How did you handle it? Your experience could help someone else. And remember, you are in control of your career. Stay strong, stay smart, and keep pushing forward. Better opportunities are always ahead. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video, because your success story is just getting started.